So today I'm going to share with you my top 5 most embarrassing moments, and to be honest, I think like 3 of these involve me falling or face planting in front of a bunch of people, which I'm a klutz, so I hope you enjoy! When I was 3, it was my first time going ice skating, and I had been watching all the professionals, and for some reason, even though I had never gone ice skating, I thought I would be just as good as the professionals, so I had a lot of confidence in myself, and I went skating out to the middle of the ice skating rink, and I fell flat on my back, and I was still motivated in myself, like I can do this, so I got up on my feet again, and I face planted, and I think I fell like 3 more times before I actually had to like hug the wall the whole time, but yeah, that was embarrassing because everyone was staring at me. So I walk in Victoria's Secret, and there it was with my mom, and my mom is very open about things like this, and there was a bunch of guys walking around, which that's awkward, and so 2 of the worker ladies walk up to me, and they were like, "Do you need help with anything?" And I was like, no, I'm good. And my mom's like, "Oh yes, well she needs help with this and this and this." She was just like openly telling them everything. And there was this guy standing behind us. And then she's like, "Well, I think we're going to go get you measured." And I was like, do I have to take off my shirt? She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, okay. So then I told her what size I was because she asked. And then she's like, "Oh, I don't think you're that size. I think you're this size." And she openly announced to everyone what size I was. We literally walked in the dressing room. And she like shouted across half the store to this other girl, "We need to get her this size. She thinks she's this size, but she's really not." And there was these girls sitting there, and they all stared at me, and they were just like looking at me and watching me as I walked by, and I was like, "Oh, this is really uncomfortable," and it was not fun at all. NYC is a youth conference for Pentecostals, and there's like thousands of people there. I think there was 20-something thousand people there. I was walking in the foyer area, and I had on these really uncomfortable shoes that I did not know how to walk in, and I had on an extremely long skirt, and I was walking in between 2 of my friends, and I kind of stumbled a little bit, and I caught myself. I was like, "Okay, I'm good." And there was really slippery floor, so I kept on walking, and I was walking all confident like I was everything, and then I slipped and I fell on the floor in front of so many people, and this guy ran up to me. He was like, "Oh my goodness, baby, are you okay?" And I don't even know who he is, and he called me baby, and I was like, creepy much? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. He's like, "Does anything hurt?" And I was like, "Well, my foot hurts," because I had like collapsed on my foot. And he's like, "Okay, well, let me take a look." And I was like, "Dude, what are you doing?" I didn't say that, but I was like, And it was one of those moments like in the movies, that whole romantic moment or whatever, and I knew it was, so I was like completely trying to ignore it because my friends were just standing there like, "Oh my goodness," because he like looked straight in my face, and I was like, "I don't want to look at you in the eyes." So I just kind of blew him off. I'm like, I'm fine. But it was so embarrassing because I fell in front of so many people, and this really cute guy walks up and starts like asking if I'm okay. And I don't actually remember what it looked like because I was trying to avoid all eye contact as possible. But my friends were like, "Oh my goodness, you could have taken like advantage of that moment. He was so perfect. Oh my goodness, it was like a romantic scene from the movies." And I was like, "Dude, get over it." This also happened at NYC, but it was in the hotel, and I think this was a little more embarrassing than what happened at the actual NYC church place, because I was in the hallway and I had on socks, and there was a tile floor, and there was this group of guys, like a group of guys that were Pentecostals together in the hall. And I was being stupid and running in the hall, and I slipped and face planted, and all of the guys laughed at me. They didn't even ask if I was okay, they just laughed at me. It was so embarrassing. And my friends laughed at me too, big surprise. This is kind of confusing, but I'm a Bible quizzer, and Bible quizzing is a game we play, and there's 20 questions, and you can interrupt a question, like you hit the buzzer if you want to answer it. You can interrupt a question, but you have to finish the question and then give the answer. So and also if you interrupt a question and you get it wrong, the other team gets it replayed to them, and they're not allowed to interrupt. And you have 30 seconds to answer once you buzz in on a question. So I interrupted a question, and I didn't realize I interrupted it, and I was supposed to finish the question. Well, I completely finished the question completely wrong, And it was like one of those obvious answers, like how did you not know that? And I answered it so wrong. And whenever you're Bible quizzing, you have a crowd in front of you, like a crowd of people watching you. The quiz master was reading a verse, like he was reading the whole entire verse, and he said, quote the verse preceding this verse, like the one that comes before it. But there's a type of question, it's a quotation completion, which is where he reads the beginning of the verse and you have to finish it. So I thought it was a quotation completion because I wasn't paying attention to the type of question it was. And so I interrupted, and all I did was quote the verse because I thought it was quotation completion, and I just sat there, and whenever you don't finish the question completely, the quizmaster would stare at you. And so I thought I did good. Like, I thought I had answered the question right. And then when the question time was over, it turns out all I did was finish the question. I didn't even answer the question. So he read the whole verse, and he said, quote the verse preceding it. So I quoted the completely wrong verse, which if you're not a Bible quizzer, you won't understand that. But seriously, it was really embarrassing for me because I already had all this pressure on me, and it was my first year being a Bible quizzer, and it was extremely embarrassing. I think someone actually laughed too. So I hope you enjoyed my top 5 most embarrassing moments, and it's okay if you laugh at me because I laugh at myself a lot. So, hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. Bye.